and welcome to FMK Anime. I'm your host, Meep, joined by my co-host, Dalaran and Makan. Say hi, you two.
Hello. Makan, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Where can they find you?
You can find me mostly nowhere except the forests and mountains of Sweden, probably the ocean at some point. You can also find me on Twitter at @that_Viking, reposting posts whenever I decide to remember to click on the app.
Right on, right on. And as always, guys, you can catch me, Dalaran Quest, over here at Dalaran Quest. It's DALARON Quest. And you can find me on that name anywhere from YouTube to the Twitters to the Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, I stream Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Mondays, we do our FMK Anime. Hello, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Tuesdays, we do Dungeons and Dragons, where we do this slow burn campaign with an emphasis on roleplay and like social simulation. And on Fridays, we do Lose, Learn, Win, where I play fighting games with my friends, and I get my ass handed to me, hopefully learn my lesson, and then possibly even win a round or two. That being said, the reason why this episode is being streamed live late and probably will be uploaded late, and the reason why you guys might not be catching any streams on my channel this past week and maybe this week as well, we'll see how it goes, is because I've recently had to be relocated due to my roommate getting COVID. Get vaccinated, wear your masks, don't gather. We all want to get back to normal, but you need to put the greater good ahead of yourselves right now, folks. Please and thank you from the one and only, and ultimately just another person in the crowd, Dalaran Quest. Now,
Yes, if anyone gets within 6 feet of you, hit them with the fighting game combo. Make sure they never get close to you again.
it doesn't even have to be like super complex. Just do the revolver combo: light, mid, heavy, heavy slash. Let's go.
Anyways, this is a show where each week we walk through a list of shows, and at the end of each week we can cut a show. And yeah, let's just jump right in with Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song, episode 10.
Also, really quick, because we are having to stream by proxy, apologies to our viewers at home. We will not be doing slides for this episode, but it's just for episodes. I'm sure you can appreciate our lovely banner done by Death to Reality with a 3 instead of an E in reality. You can follow them on twitter.com.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah. In Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song, episode 10. After Diva was erased, Vivy found herself unable to sing and ends up in the museum. After being visited by Matsumoto, both the AI and the scientist who created him, she attempts to write a song and succeeds after accepting Diva as a part of herself, but is still unable to sing it. However, we see the Singularity Project has ended in failure, with the AI singing the song she wrote.
So you go off on a fucking blood-crazy rampage. I was fine throughout the whole final scene until they started singing her song.
Yeah. Something happened. And fucking, if it has me hooked.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. Going back there, them singing her song, which is, okay, how the fuck do they know that? They're probably going to explain it in some way. But the fact that we come back to the future we saw in episode 1 and nothing being different made me feel like, alright, what was the fucking point of everything we've seen so far?
Nope, it is different. In episode 1, they weren't singing her song.
Sure,
well, this is the one we were never shown. They could very well have been singing her song.
Yeah,
they never played it for... Yeah, sorry, go on.
They could have been singing her song, but okay, so the only difference is that they're singing her song now?
Oh, well, no, the difference is that a bunch of AIs have not been committing suicide. See, the thing is, though, like, I feel like the show was setting up, like, there's, like, a terrible glitch within the AIs that, like, were caused by, like, society's reaction to them, instead of being like, no, there was a cyber attack on the fucking AI program mainframe and like I feel like that's going to be like the big reveal at the end.
Well, what my assumption and theory of what has happened is so they did succeed in stopping all the singularity points because no one followed in Ophelia's footsteps, no one followed in Grace and Psyche's footsteps of marrying, and no one followed in Estella's footsteps. So I'm thinking that the
You're hitting
like
on my
force
quad.
or the force or being that's trying to interfere in the Singularity Project, I think they used Vivy's song that she wrote as something, because that's the first song AI has wrote of their free will.
Yeah, they
And
could
we
have
even
hijacked.
and we even see fucking this. Okay, so Vivy's creator screams villain to me because of the fucking monologue when we see Vivy being made. I don't care if she resents us for giving this term such as a heart. I'm just intrigued to see the answer. It's like, oh, wow, that's not ominous.
I just think it's stupid because it's like you could have chosen the first humanoid AI to answer any question of life, and you have them fucking. And that's the first question you ask them. It's like, what is to have a heart? Like, what is to sing from the heart? Also, this might just be a translation thing on Funimation's part, but why heart and not soul? Like, a heart is a physical, real organ that people possess. Like, an AI could just, like, oh, stabs a dude in the chest the way that Vivy stabbed Grace in the chest and rips out their heart here. And Vivy just starts singing into the heart.
Because people will often use heart as a word that doesn't refer to the organ but refers to a reflection of oneself and the soul. That's why she asked the question. She wants to see if an AI can understand that complexity to it instead of it just being, well, a heart is an organ. She's wanting an AI to come up with their own answer to that. It's
like that, to see if an AI can not only answer the abstractness of a soul but also, understand metaphor. I like it. I accept that response.
Yeah, and as far as like them singing her song at the end, I'm incredibly intrigued to see what happened to that, because I'm like I said, I'm thinking whatever time traveling force that was trying to interfere with the Singularity Project, because Matsumoto does drop another hint at the start, being like, yeah, no, there was something more to what Mr. Kakitani said. Like, I'm thinking they went, well, fuck, all these singularity points were solved. Wait a minute, you wrote a song of your own free will. It's time to start a cult. Because think about it, if someone went to AI and went, this song was written by an AI of their own free will, and they could have very well started a cult from it.
I mean, it really felt like the song was. It really felt to me like the song was written like the day or like a few days before everything went to shit. Because remember, she wrote the song. He's like, "Oh my god, a song, finally!" And then they're like, "Mr. Matsumoto," and he's like, "I'll be right back." And that's the beginning of episode 1, right? And also, show of hands if you guys called the little boy being the Dio voice actor Matsumoto from the first episode.
I did, and I enjoyed that. I actually, it sounds like you two aren't fans of this episode. I actually really enjoyed this episode.
You always make that assumption, Mape.
I mean, I'm going off of what you two have said so far.
Vivy gave Osamu Matsumoto his sexual awakening.
She really did. Osamu, he was fun. I actually enjoyed it because we finally got to see how Vivy was the AI to change his life, and that was really sweet. And seeing like him growing up, getting a wife, having a child. His wife died in childbirth, right?
Yeah.
That was what we were supposed to get from that, because Vivy says,
that was
why would
yeah, I was confused about that too.
Because I caught it second on rewatch where I'm thinking, oh, his wife knew that she was going to die in childbirth, and that's okay. Like that, I caught that in second on rewatch. Because that's why she was asking, why was she able to smile when she, more than anyone, wanted to see this child grow up? And it was like, aw.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
it was sweet to see Vivy accept Diva as a part of herself and going through all of their experiences and seeing how she has changed throughout this journey and how this journey has changed her. Because they intentionally showed all of the good first, then started showing the bad second. Because it slides through with all the good things that she's gone through, and then the second set of slides is all of the bad things that she's gone through and how it's shaped her. And I thought that was really sweet. I enjoyed it.
Oh, god damn it. Is that being picked up, by the way?
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, okay, so let's see how Vivy deals with not having Diva anymore, and she just decides to go sit in a box for 25 years.
Because she's in a depression without her purpose. Throughout the episode, she's desperately trying to find something, and try to fulfill her purpose. It's this quiet desperation that she has.
To the point of like, when Matsumoto first shows up, she's like eagerly just like jumping at the bit to be like, what's our next Singularity project goal? And he's like, oh, like that's out of character for you. He's like, basically both of them are like, we're so fucking bored. Oh, so yeah, sorry about that, chat. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. America, fuck yeah, yeehaw. What's the point of fireworks at 2:40?
How many fucking days do you have where you fucking set off explosions?
Yeah. Why do fireworks? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love fireworks, even though they're terrible for the environment. But like, it's 2:40 p.m. You can't even see them. Maybe they just like the bang bangs. Anyway,
a lot of people like the bang bangs.
Yep, shot me down. But yeah, no. What are we talking about? Yeah, no, they're like they're both desperately bored. However, it was really great seeing Matsumoto kind of like referring to Vivy in a much more human way, like the terminology he used, such as like friendship, nostalgia, boredom, even expressing like consideration for her emotional state, as displayed great emotional growth for Singularity Bot Matsumoto. And like it's everything that Meep said last week, right? Except like really expounded upon and really in a really well paced manner, kind of expanded and well, not really expounded, but just expanded upon. Just like we get to see Matsumoto be more and more of like Vivy becoming less of an android doll. Singularity Bot Matsumoto has also become less of this hyper fast mission only protocol AI. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually okay. It was really sweet seeing him this episode and fulfilling his promise to Diva, and it was a slower paced episode, but it was just sweet and feel good until the after credits when it's genuinely scary.
Yeah, them like singing her song off key, especially after like so. For those who didn't catch it, like the song that she wrote was the ending song of the show, which fitting, very well done show. However, like it was like pretty in the ending. It's like cute and quaint in the show, and then in the finale when all the androids that are like all the AIs that are just like killing everything, like just repeatedly stabbing at a dude's corpse, it's just blankly and flatly singing the song. That's not good. That's not good at all.
It's something has happened, something has changed, and I'm excited to see how this came about, because in the original timeline, there's no way Vivy would have wrote the song about the Singularity Project, because she went through all these experiences and wrote a very personal song for Diva about these experiences. And now they're singing this song. That's why I'm thinking someone used this as to their advantage to show AI that they have free will because there was an AI who wrote a song from their own free will. And I'm intrigued to see how this cult war, whatever it is, started.
I'm gonna just put my 2 cents out there and say that if all these AIs are singing the song this flatly, it's not out of their own free will.
Fair enough.
Also, Makan, you've been a little quiet. Before I continue, is there anything you want to say?
I don't have too much to say about the episode, really. It was okay, I suppose, and just seeing her struggle with the thing for several years and seeing what Matsumoto, I guess, grow up while she's just trying to solve her own issue was interesting. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Here. Let us know if you find the words to do it. In the meantime, I will say this. What's his face? Matsumoto. Back to Matsumoto, like the fact that he chose the day of their meeting, like he's understanding sentiment now, is really cute. And just to go back to the Matsumoto bot, the way he said goodnight to her, the oh man, am I gonna butcher this? Oyasumi, yeah, Oyasumi Nese. The vocal emphasis is it's considerably subtle, but just how genuine and wholesome it was. I replayed that scene multiple times because it was just like it was human. It was human. It was so nice.
And next episode, we're most likely going to get see Matsumoto just utterly defeated, having failed his mission. And I'm so intrigued to see what happens with him. Like, maybe he'll talk slower.
Do you think maybe he will talk slower? Because even now, I still have sometimes trouble keeping up with the subs, but with him in particular. But do you think they're going to do an homage to what was it, like episode 6? Or excuse me, to episode 6, and just have him crash into like 2 cans of paint, one red, one blue?
Possibly.
And I'd say it's 6, yeah. Or I guess it would be 7. You know what I mean.
What I think is... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, what I think is going to happen, like, story-wise, is I think next episode is going to be them trying to figure out what happened. Episode after that is going to be Climax. Next 2 episodes probably going to be Climax.
We're getting 14 episodes or 13 episodes?
No, it was 13, sorry. I meant to say, next episode I think is going to be them trying to figure out this mystery of what happened and why they're singing their song. And I think next 2 episodes of that are going to be Climax and some falling action.
I mean, the only way well, no, not the only way, but yeah, the way I see it going from here on out is that the show is going to have the next episode, exactly, they're going to be investigating, they're going to team up in a state of crisis, realizing what the fuck is going on. The beginning is probably going to have both of them lashing out. I thought this is going to be the end of it. And then it's going to end on the big reveal, the big twist, and then the other 2 episodes are probably going to be, or no, honestly, the show's probably going to do 2 big reveals, and I hope that if they're going to go that route, I can see this show doing 2 big reveals, and if they're going to go that route, I hope they really stick the landing, because sometimes when you get a little too heady at the end of the show, it just feels like a cop-out. Looking at you, darling in the Franxx.
See,
and a number of other anime.
There was one line that stuck out to me that Vivy's creator made that makes me wonder. She said, because Vivy's creator said, even if it makes her resent us, I want to know what her answer is. And that line has me very curious. Very curious.
Yeah, they cut it off too, which honestly I see them going more. They're them going back more into Vivy's past because her creator, and what did she call her? Her furbisher or whatever, designer. Like she went against protocol doing that, so there's been a lot of mystery set up for this episode, and It's definitely curious. I'll give it that. Intriguing. Yes.
And I enjoyed seeing how Matsumoto and Vivy, like I said earlier, I enjoyed seeing how she was the AI to change his life, and because that was something I was always curious about. And I thought they were gonna use Doctor Psyche for that, because we saw in the first episode him running from AI to send Matsumoto to the past, and he's like, "You were the AI to change my life. It's all up to you now." Before he gets shot, and I enjoyed finally getting to see how they changed how their relationship was and how they changed each other. It was really cute, really sweet. Although I have a question for you too. So there's no way that he would have made a time machine with all the AIs killing everyone. Do you think that when he listened to the Singularity Project song, that's how he knew about the AI war? Or would that be a little too convoluted for what the show's been doing?
We don't know what Matsumoto has been doing. We don't know what Matsumoto bot has been doing for the last 20 years. So
25 years.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a paradox, right, Makan?
I mean, if anything, I feel like the paradox thing is just that you couldn't change the future no matter how hard you tried, because you can't make a paradox. So the robot uprising is still happening. That's the feeling I'm getting from it. I don't know. I'm just annoyed at the fact that it's this. It was a dramatic journey about all this, but it just feels like in the end they just didn't succeed at all, and the thing is happening, and well, the fact that the war already started, I would have enjoyed them probably catching the war before it happened, and or while it just started. I guess it's still just starting, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can sort of see where you're coming from, where it feels like nothing mattered, but at the same time, it was very much a story of personal growth for both Vivy and Matsumoto as well. That character development isn't like invalidated because the war still happens, and the war is most likely going to have different aspects. For all we know, the war can be solvable this time.
Maybe. I mean, we'll have different aspects. I mean, it looks like it's playing out quite similar so far.
It's all speculation at this point, right? Because who knows where this is going. This is indicative that the show at least has us interested in giving us content, right? Because I know I said that too fast. My brain went zoom. Even whatever. Point is, we can continue splitting hairs and theories, because what if Vivy's the bad guy? What if this is not the first time Singularity Project has been fired, but the fourth or the fifth or the sixth? Because if you pay attention to the opening, it shows Diva as the last sister that needs to be saved or changed, because we go through, or not Diva, Vivy. We see Diva, Vivy, then we go Estella, Beth, Ophelia, and then Grace, Ophelia, and then we return back to Vivy. In her, what I've been affectionately calling her final form throughout this season, but which we see her in the museum the whole time. That outfit with the furred cape, the two-tailed cape, and the outfit with no pants, because. Yeah, I get it, Osamai, from that angle. Yeah, no, I understand, Osamu. But we just have to see what's going to happen next, right, guys?
The man was so dedicated to his Vocaloid waifu that he went there every year.
While it was cute to see the kid grow up, I really was surprised that he got married and his wife didn't have an issue with how much of a place in his life Vivy had.
No, from the looks of it, they only visited her about 8 times through his entire life.
Oh, I took it as the implication that he visited her at least once a year, if not multiple times a year.
Maybe so, but from the look of it, I feel like it might not have been as often of an appearance, and like it's like, yeah, I mean, she gave me some advice as a kid, which like made me able to get friends and everything. It doesn't. I don't feel like she would see that as a sexual thing. Just be like, yeah, no, they gave me some really good advice, and I respect them as from when I was a kid.
Vivi facilitated my ability to breed.
Like I don't actually think he had any romantic feelings for Vivy, but definitely when Vivy bent over, him, a teenager going through puberty, definitely had some neurons activate there.
Yeah, can't deny it. He got extremely blushy with Vivi a lot, which is cute, right? Like, AI human relationships were probably becoming more normalized at that point. And, kid sees this superstar that I feel like Osamu was the kid who kind of like how our generation, like, if our parents like introduced us to rock and roll, the music they grew up on, and like we had an appreciation for it, it kind of felt like, you know, if how do I put this? Like if yeah, if like we went to a museum and saw Jim Morrison standing in a display case, we'd be like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And like a bunch of our peers would be like, "Who the fuck's that? Like, who cares?" And they
Yeah,
run
who the
away.
fuck's Jim Morrison?
Yeah.
Legitimate.
Wait, like legitimately?
Legitimately, I don't know
See,
who Jim Morrison is.
you're one of the shitty kids at the beginning of the show that are just like jumping each other and picking their nose, fucking brats.
Specifically, I'm the kid trying to strangle the other kid.
Yeah, fucking little. Those kids sucked, but at least they, they said bye bye politely at the end. So at least they had that going for them. Jim Morrison
Also,
is the songwriter and singer for The Doors.
Okay. Also, is that just a Japan thing where it's common for kids to hold the teacher's hands on field trips?
Oh yeah, it's also popular in Europe, and yeah, it's just a thing where everyone stay together because there are places in the world that don't fear intimacy and don't see hand holding as anything other than hand holding.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind like a teacher on a field trip holding my child's hand, unless it's the teacher from Horimiya.
Yeah.
Come on, not even a giggle.
Yeah, no, I had to remind myself who that was, and I'm like, oh, that guy, the guy who definitely fucks the students.
Yeah, Miyahura, if you're gonna come over, bring Hori. That fucking guy.
That fucking guy. Are you ready for cards, boys?
I am.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't fully vocalize my issue I had with kind of it felt like it was too fast for her to get over her trauma, but it has been 25 years. It's just the problem with time skips for me.
I don't think she ever got over her trauma. Like, she kind of started accepting it at the end, and then boom, this shit happened. Well, she kind of got over it and fell asleep.
Yeah, no, she's certainly starting to recovering and is doing a lot better, but I don't know, just kind of felt hand wavy of like, yeah, no, she got emotionally destroyed and now she's fine. It just felt weird for me.
What's your card?
I mean, despite all my issues with the episode, it's not really doing much for me except for, no, not really anything. I guess the thing about seeing Matsumoto growing up and the promise of some more action in the next episode is the only good thing for me. I mean, I'll be honest with myself. I'm not too excited for it, but I know
Vote with your heart, man. Vote with your heart.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The thing I consider a fuck is would I be wanting to watch the next episode? And at this point, yeah, I'll watch the next episode. I want to see what the fuck happens.
But does this episode deserve your juicy eggplant? No. Does it deserve your longboat?
No, you're right. No, I kill it because this episode felt completely vacant of anything really actually happening. It felt like more filler before they push off with the last thing.
Well, I wouldn't say
go
it's filler because it would have felt extremely jarring if we went straight from the Ophelia arc that had like that really jam-packed and action-filled episode to boom, AI wars happening, get wrecked. That would have
Yeah.
felt super jarring. We
If
needed a
any-
breather episode.
I didn't feel like it was a breather episode. I felt like it was doing setup, but in a very like slow burn. I get where you're coming from in terms of like the like for you the pacing was off, not because the actual story beat pacing was off, but just because time skips galore. We went from a show that kind of really got into the details of every moment to a show that just like we used to skip time between episodes. Now we're skipping time within an episode, and that could be a jarring shift. Personally, it sounds to me like the show just lost you, Makan. But yeah, if anything could be considered filler in terms of like the way it felt, I would first nominate episode. What was it like? We're on 10 right now. Episode 7 with Diva in the limelight, where it just felt like a. All right. Yeah, all of that felt like by intention. Uh, so I guess I'll just go into my card next, unless someone has a retort.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna fuck this episode. While I agree with Makan that the like time skips are a little bit upsetting, I also acknowledge that anime is in its current form, um, kind of stuck to its 13 episodes per season story structure. So there's only so much time we could have. Would I have enjoyed getting more content between her and Osamu Matsumoto, Dr. Matsumoto? Yes. Do I wish we got to see more between her and Dr. Matsumoto? Yes, because I've been waiting for this character to appear. I hope they save him. I hope he's a more prevalent character. I can't see them billing Dio's voice actor just to have the amount of lines he had in this show thus far. I'm trying not to be too meta about it and be like, oh, it's Dio's voice actor, he's going to be a bad guy. Regardless, this show's overall structure, this episode's overall structure was really good. We got to see kind of the downside of someone who is prepared and like dead set on a singularity project. So she went from one extreme to the other. She went from one end of the extreme to the other with a singularity project and her mission, kind of living in an era of peace. We got mutually disappointed. We got disappointed that Diva is once again retired to the to the museum. Which, by the way, it was never in the show. It was never explained why the war happened or why she was retired. So all things can still be happening in a relatively same structure or series of events. So there's a lot of intrigue and mystery that's been set up, and I'm personally really invested in seeing it through. However, just because I'm invested in seeing it through, it doesn't mean that I'm super excited, because just like with any finale with a show that has so much on its plate, it can drop it. And the bigger the plate, the bigger the mess. But I'm really hoping that Vivy Fluorite Eye Song can stick its landing and really give us something to just talk about for years to come with its finale, because it's all riding on its finale right now. Every chapter has been a setup for the narrative of of what is about to come, and I want to see where it goes. So, eggplant for you, Vivy Floridize song, long name.
I'm waiting for two things. I'm waiting for the ending to get vocals once Vivy is able to sing again.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, I'm waiting for last episode, that ending to get some vocals. I'm waiting for that, and I'm also waiting for, before Matsumoto has to make his heroic sacrifice, he and Vivy do the forehead touch thing. I'm waiting for it.
Me, fuck yeah, absolutely. I am now right there with you. I didn't even think about that. I'm surprised I didn't think about that. Fuck yeah.
They have not touched foreheads yet. It has to happen. They're closer than any others in this show. It has to happen.
I like that Vivy's best moment with Beth, memory with Beth, is just her slamming her forehead into Beth's.
Yeah.
And think about the good times, dong.
Episode 4 is still probably my favorite of these episodes, but episode 9 came close. Yeah, I'm excited to see this through. I'm going to fuck the show. Whether it dies or not on this show, I'm going to see it through regardless. I do hope it makes it to the end just so we can talk about it, because I just absolutely love talking about this show and its themes and messages.
Before Ikebukuro Skate Park this show in the next episode or two.
I will be really sad and do my best to convince you otherwise.
You do your best not to get upset.
Anyways, that is a double kill and one knife for Vivy Fluorite Eye's song. What next? Let's move on to Super Cup, Episode 8. Koguma and Reiko stop by Shi's cafe before going out to buy gloves. Koguma buys a rice cooker instead, and then buys handle covers, and convinces Reiko to buy some too. They then go back to the cafe and meet Shi's mother. Reiko has a gun. She has a gun?
To be fair, she didn't buy a rice cooker. She bought a cooking tin, which doubles as a bento lunchbox, and a survival tool, which she had to like struggle with both her pride as Reiko's handler and being the, financially troubled person that she is. And Reiko may or may not have a gun. And I assume those guns were replicas because Japan, and I just don't see a small provincial town in Japan fucking carrying a Magnum revolver.
What you don't understand is that this is actually a shop run by the Yakuza. This is how they get you into the business.
Yeah, they have like a full Python revolver, which is hilarious.
Oh, by the way, before we move too far away from it, there was one other thing I wanted to say in my ending thoughts of Vivy. Is that okay?
Mate, shame on you.
I forgot. I was looking at my notes and I just saw it out the corner of my eye.
Shame on you. And now that I've publicly shamed you, yeah, go ahead, but make it quick.
Okay, I just want to put in my notes that I did realize that throughout the show, it kind of clicked for me. While Toke is an organization, mostly in the background, they were never supposed to be the focus. Toke Boy was supposed to be the focus. And that sort of just clicked for me today. Or not today, what? Yesterday. Yeah, and that's what kind of makes me feel better about the organization. It's like, oh, okay, it's not like they were... It's not... I don't know. I can explain it better later, but yeah.
Anyway. Also, I'm looking at chat, and in case what is being... just in case what's being said is accurate, that was 2 fucks and a knife for Vivy Fluorite Eyes. Not a double kill and a knife for Vivy Fluorite Eyes song.
Oh, fuck. I messed that up. My bad.
Double fuck and a knife.
God. I accidentally marked me and Macan down as killing it. Whoops.
Well, that's it. Vivy's dead, guys. GG.
No, it's not. Like I'd fucking kill this show. That's like thinking I'd kill Jujutsu Kaisen.
So, Super Cup. We get a lot here. We really have she kind of come into it. Anyway, she becomes the last episode was her introductory episode, and this episode we really get to see more of her character, more of her life. We have parents, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a world without parents, only children and teachers, but we have actual parents. And her dad is large.
Yeah, she has a German father and American mother, right?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm not entirely understanding. Like, is she Japanese?
I think her father's German and her mother is American, because that was at least the vibe I was getting. I don't know. Macan, what vibe did you get from it?
Well, I mean, not sure if the dad is German. He kind of has the look of it. If he is in Germany, he's probably like half German or something, and kind of obsessed with that part of his heritage. I don't think the mom is American, though. I think she just has... Because, I mean, Japan kind of has a phenomenon similar as weeaboos, where they just are obsessed with American culture. That's a thing.
Yeah.
So I think that might just be what she is. But I think the dad has some German descent.
Yeah, I think dad is like German Japanese and mom is American or American Japanese, because her mom has like her eyes are drawn larger and blue, her hair's blonde, her eyebrows are blonde, which I'm like, oh, you're embarrassed that your mom's a foreigner. That's kind of shitty anyway. And her dad is just an absolute fucking lumberjack of a unit, but is like, you know, uh, I don't know. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Also, could someone explain? Okay, so I may have just missed it, but She's mom was just genuinely sweet and kind. Why did she not want Koguma and Reiko to meet her?
Well, because she's like, because teenager meep. You know how like your mom could be like really sweet and like caring, but it comes off as like eccentric, embarrassing, get overbearing. I'm pretty sure that is just what she is experiencing. I'm just gonna keep calling her anyway because it's hard to talk about her in both second and first person. Or I guess it would be third person and first person.
Fair enough. I this was a cute episode. Not a whole lot like event wise happened, but character wise we got some nice stuff. It didn't feel like there was a lot of forward momentum, but I still enjoyed what we were seeing.
What do you mean? It was great forward momentum. The bikes now have wind guards, windbreakers.
Yeah, but there was that scene where you see she animated in 2D, and then there's CG Reiko and Koguma behind her. Like that fucking reminded me of when X-Arm blended its 3D and 2D. Not saying it was as bad as X-Arm. I'm just saying it reminded me.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but it was funny to see fucking, and it wasn't even funny. It was just kind of uncomfortable and sad to see Eniwa just pedaling uphill while Reiko and Koguma are just like going 12 behind her. Probably even slower, probably like 8. Just heave hoeing.
If you scroll up in screenshots, you'll see the shot I'm talking about, which it's weird because sometimes they animate the bikes and the girls on the bikes as 2D, but sometimes they're CG. I don't. Is it to save time? It has to be, right?
I don't know. I think they did it so that like the bikes themselves can be quote unquote moddable, so they don't have to redraw the whole bike every time, and they just add models, like they add to the 3D model.
Yeah, because this is both the studio's highest rated anime, and I think it's only its 5th. Let me take a look because I know they haven't made many.
I'm assuming when you're saying rated, you're talking about the My Anime List ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to clarify that because there are different rating systems everywhere, and when you say like, "Oh, this is the best rated overall," it sounds like we're getting it from multiple sources, but really we're just using the My Anime List rating system, which I know people have a mixed thoughts about it, but who cares about the rating? It's about what we think about the show and what you guys think.
No, I was just saying that's probably why they're trying to do their best for it, but this is the 8th anime they've made.
Yeah. Yeah. No. From episode 1, I'm like, I don't really understand why we have 3D in this. It just doesn't entirely seem necessary, but the show does it, and us agreeing or disagreeing with it will not change it. Is it sometimes visually jarring? Yeah. Do I understand why they do it? No. Is it really that bad? No.
Oh, they did the horse racing anime.
No. God damn it.
Okay.
Speaking of commercials, since we've kind of mentioned that over the last 2 episodes, does anyone feel like this episode was co-sponsored by that bike company, or does Honda own that bike company, Molten or whatever?
I think so, yeah. I'd have to check, but I think that's definitely not implication, but that's the feel I got. That's like, hey, this is also a company we own.
Or this is also a sponsor of the show. Yeah, McCann?
I don't know if they're owned by it. I think it might just be another. I don't know. Honda owns a lot of shit. Might be part of it.
Could be.
I mean, it's not like the advertisements. There wasn't a lot of advertisement in this episode, was it?
Not for the Super Cub, but for the bike a little bit.
What was the name of the bike company again?
is like Molten or something like that. I tend not to pay attention to brands.
I think I'm not sure if the bike was a commercial. I think that was just supposed to be a cute thing of like, hey, it's a mix between Germany and America, and they decided on Britain as the middle ground on their daughter.
It sounds like okay. It sounds like they don't.
Okay, cool.
Because it's saying Milton is owned by Chrysler. Is Chrysler owned by Honda?
Look it up. But yeah, no. In the meantime, while Meep's looking that up, I love their family and how culturally eclectic they are, and how there is this like regional culinary rivalry happening within the family. We see it with the dad and Eniwa, but then like it gets doubled up by like the implication gets only doubled up by the introduction of the mom, who's like, like you walk in, you see this like German bread shop with a French name, with a British style counter and an American diner on the side, and I'm just like, well, I love this place. I want to go here. It's great, and like the whole family's dynamic overall was amazing.
Okay, just I do want to bounce off of that, but no, Honda does not own Chrysler, so it doesn't own that brand. But it reminds me of we have a restaurant here, and they serve both Italian and seafood, and it just you go in there, and it's so jarring because it's not like it was there where it's split off into different quarters. It is just you go in there and it's yes, they have Italian style tables, but they have like nautical ropes and nautical wheels hanging from places. They have a lot of Italian paintings, but then they have like the windows are portholes, and it's like, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah, the combination of like Italian fine dining or like Tuscany kind of like dining atmosphere with like nautical is a little strange if not done well. But at the same time, like Italian food is famous for their seafood, so I can see that culinarily, like it totally makes sense. But just yeah, I'd imagine like portholes and anchors and like ship ropes combined with like romantic Tuscany kind of like candles and mood lighting and you know photos paintings of vineyards and shit. I'd be like, yeah, this is Yarhar Fiddledee D. We're trying to hit the aesthetic for both land and sea.
Now I'm just imagining a Italian noblewoman from something like Assassin's Creed, like, you know, prim and proper, like very fancy, with just a Pirates of the Caribbean down and dirty pirate captain. Just now I'm just imagining two of them like dating, and it's a weird thought in my head.
Assassin's Creed prim and proper is a sentence, is a combination of words I did not think I'd experience in a single sentence. Yeah, I love their family. It's so good. I watched this episode. I'm like, this is such a good time. And again, the color flushes. You know, the moment Koguma put her hands into the little dry thingies and she drove, and the wind wasn't making her cold. I knew that glow up was coming, but when she sipped the coffee and all the color flushed, and the show still does that very well, despite. In fact, yeah, no. In spite of it becoming more predictable for me, I still get this little like warm giddiness. Also, them talking about that conversation when they first arrived for their first coffee at the shop was really like, as a biker, I'm like, yeah, temperature control is all about wind mitigation. It's do you want a lot of wind to like keep your body cool so that the breeze is taking off the heat off your skin? Yes. Do you want to keep warm? Okay, well then you need to insulate your jacket and sleeves because that fast winter air is just going to go up your sleeves and just chill your whole body. But Koguma's right. They need to prepare more for the winter. They need winter jackets. They need winter tires. Need to make sure that their bikes are running right and have an oil and liquid checks. The show's good when it comes to its bike accuracy for the most part. Whenever it does it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not supposed to drive your motorbike in the snow, right?
I mean, you can if you have winter tires.
Fair enough. I just know my dad doesn't ride his Harley in the winter because there's a bylaw against that here, so I'm not sure if that's a common thing.
Some places like create like a law where it's just like it's not recommended by law, or it's I don't know. I mean, I don't know the law, so I can't say like, oh, some places make it illegal, some places make it a misdemeanor. Like I don't fucking know, but I can see that happening. It is dangerous.
To be fair, I live in Canada, so snow is a lot harsher here than in Japan, probably.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the region of Japan, but also like you guys get snowfalls the size of a Harley Davidson bike, so like yeah, probably not taking that out. Like you can dig a snowed cart out and you'll be okay, but if you have to like dig your bike out of the snow, that's like excavating something from like a glacier. Hyperbole intended, chat.
Mm-hmm.
Amakan, you love this show. Talk to me. Super Cub. You and me, let's go.
Yeah, no, the show is fucking fantastic. Just Reiko showing up, having bought the fucking hand covers, and Reiko being so against it, and when she just tries them, she's just like, I need this immediately, they're fucking great!
Yeah.
It's so good. The entire coffee shop scene as well, just how fucking cute the dad, the mom, and I forget her name right now, but the daughter is. And yeah. And when Koguma drinks the coffee and everything gets colored, it's so good.
Yeah. Although I'm a little upset they didn't give us a winning verdict on who won. The Hawaiian coffee mild roast Americana, or she's like Italian. You can't serve an espresso in a cup like that. You can't serve it in a mug. Am I wrong? I'm not a coffee guy, but I've been with my mom and dad to enough cafes and enough Italian places to know that I'm getting the impression that you're not supposed espresso can't be in a mug. Otherwise,
you can. It just can't be one of those image changing mugs like the ones that are like, oh, it's a DBZ mug, and when it has something hot in it, it'll turn Super Saiyan. You can't serve espressos in that, but those are very good for hot chocolate.
Why?
Because I like drinking hot chocolate and thinking that I'm Goku, okay?
No, motherfucker, why can't you serve espresso in it?
Because I think it's particularly with the makeup of espresso, it'll stop the faded parts, because the whole way those mugs work is it's faded, but the heat makes the one part fade and the other part rise. I think with espresso, it's espresso. I think it's something to do with the make. All I know is that when I picked up that mug, it had a list of things that you can serve and can't serve in it. I can't serve coffee in it. I can't serve espresso in it, but I can serve hot chocolate and other warm drinks.
Beep.
Yes?
Repeat after me. S. Press. O.
Iced coffee.
Ready for you to be like, espresso. I'm like, motherfucker. But yeah, no. Yeah. The thing is, though, the show's hard to talk about in general, like in general strokes, because it's all about the details. It's all those little things in life that are really cute and just wholesome. Koguma's.
I was just gonna bounce off, say, yeah, it's hard to talk about because ultimately in the show, like event-wise, not a lot happens, but there's a lot of character and just general cuteness in those events, and I've been able to enjoy it just by being like, I'm not a big fan of this aspect, but I'm a fan of this aspect, so I'll just wait until that next moment comes up.
I mean, I don't think you can say not a lot happens, right? Because, like, a lot does happen. It's just not dramatic or dynamic. It's just chill and low-key.
They go to the coffee shop twice and buy hand covers. I guess it's more of just, it feels like not much happens because it's more stuff based off of real life, and
That's still stuff. Don't say nothing happens. It's just nothing dramatic or extreme.
I never said nothing happens. I just says not a lot happens. Which ultimately, going to the coffee shop and buying the handle covers, that's not like those are good scenes, and the scenes themselves were good, but like in of themselves, it's not like a whole lot.
I mean, it's not an action anime. It's not an adventure anime in the sense of like, we're going on a quest.
I know this isn't a criticism of, like, if I'm saying,
yeah, but
I'm not saying
I'm
it's boring.
arguing your stance on that. Not a lot happens. A lot does happen. They go to the shop, they buy gloves, they find a thing, they get the lunchbox, they become friends with she, they meet her dad, they meet her mom, they eat this, they try that. Like the range of things is core. It's just I'm arguing the fact that it's saying like a lot does happen. It's just it's not like a fight or a political conspiracy has been revealed and that kind of stuff.
Let me compare it to another slice of life we've both seen. Then it feels like it's definitely a lot slower paced than Horimiya. Like let me compare it this way. Like it feels like not a lot happens because I am basing it off of other slice of life I've seen, like Horimiya, like Adachi Toshimamura, where a bunch, or not Adachi Toshimamura. That's another one where it feels like not a lot happens, but the stuff inside of it is really cute and sweet. Like what I'm saying, it feels like not a lot happens. I'm not using that as a criticism because Adachi Toshimamura, it feels like not a lot happens, but I still really enjoyed it.
I guess I just don't agree with your terminology used, but yeah, go on.
Oh no, I finished what I was saying.
Semantics.
Yes.
But yeah, shall we? Does anyone else have anything they want to say, or are we good to go for cards?
Cards.
No, I think we talked about everything I had to talk about the show and this episode.
Yeah, I mean, just one last thing before we go. Seeing she get pouty and just being more emotive and her being more excitable while Koguma's being a lot less antagonistic for whatever reason, it was just really nice. Like Koguma's dynamic with Reiko probably out of necessity is more like stern, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I'm glad to see Koguma's not turning into a bully and just seeing Eniwashi just getting excited, getting like having her own characters just has been great. And in fact, I'll just go off and hold up my card off of that, unless you guys want to say anything.
No, I'll take what I have to say during holding up card.
This is another resounding fuck from me. The show's delightful. It's such an easy, good time that I could watch it literally at any point of the day in my week. Preferably not waking up at like 5 or 6 in the morning to watch it. But even then, if that's what I had to watch, you're like, okay, let's go. The show just continues doing what it does well. Simple, like low key, no stress, pieces of day-to-day life, animated in a very aesthetic and pleasant way, with a very nice, small but strong roster of characters that each express and emote in their own subtle ways, Reiko being the least subtle of them, obviously. Yeah, it's just this episode's really nice. I enjoyed the food art, the discussions of different cultures through like a Japanese perspective, where like it's still true to their lives. It's not like they're going into like the history of German bread, even though Reiko being like, I don't even think that she's like, oh my god, Meep. You know who Reiko is?
Who?
She is female generic.
Oh my god, you were right.
Just upset, like not obsessed, but like hyper excitable and nerding out about a specific aspect of like history, but also like knowing general history and military like trivia.
Hell yeah.
Reiko is anime female generic. That's hilarious.
Yes. I'll go ahead and hold up my card too. I'm gonna give this show a fuck. I've really come around to it, actually. it might just be me not wanting. It might just be me finding more to identify with the show, but because I remember at the start I was really against the show. First two episodes, third episode started to get me, and I think it was just because it took me time to find the aspects I like about it, and honestly, the aspects I don't like about it are so minor. And I actually had a conversation with someone about this last night. Is a show that bores. I would rather watch a show that upsets me more than a show that bores me, but this show, it hasn't been boring me anymore. It's actually been giving me stuff I enjoy, and while there are some parts I don't like about it, it's whatever. I can wait until it gives me the next thing that I do enjoy, like Reiko looking at the guns, because just Reiko, why do you want to buy a gun?
She bought the rope, she bought the tape, and now she buy the gun. Why are you concerned?
I'm gonna fuck this episode.
I'm glad the Stockholm syndrome has taken a set in for you, Meep.
All right. Yeah, no, this show is so fucking sweet. It is so damn cute, and it's just a treat to watch it whenever I do. It's just feel good and warming my heart, and all the funny moments with fucking Reiko wanting to reaching for the gat and all that. Yeah, it's great. Nah, I just love the personalities of these two girls mixing, and now this third girl. I don't know how much she's gonna get involved, but I hope she comes in more and is more of a bigger player, because she's very adorable to watch with the two of them, because the way she idolizes them is very endearing. I'm gonna fuck the show.
Yeah, there was that scene in the beginning when they were in school where they're like, dude, Reiko's like, you want me to drag you on my bike so that you don't have to like pedal? And then fucking Kogan was just like, yeah, I see people go straight into a ditch doing that. And fucking Eniwa is just like, I'll drive, I'll lead, you guys follow. And I'm like,
Koguma continues to scare this poor bean.
yeah. Although I completely agree with Koguma on that one. Do not drag a bicycle on your motorcycle unless you really know what you're doing.
I'm waiting for that to be her and Koguma's dynamic, because it seems like Koguma and Reiko's dynamic is Koguma just does not put up with her shit and is very just nerdy with her. I feel like her dynamic with she is going to just be bugging her and what's the word? Like just sort of bugging her, just being like no, like because this thing. I can't words, but yeah.
No worries. I Reiko's personality with she is definitely like, how do I put this? To say Reiko's the assertive one is calling the pot black. So like, how do I, or like the sky blue? How do I put this? She's the more dominant personality when it comes to Ushi, like the way she puts her, like the whole hand thing. Like Reiko knows she can get away with shit with she, because like when she was like telling, oh guys, sorry, but I think it's time for you guys to go. We're about to get our lunch rush, and Reiko just sees through that and is like, or is there another reason you don't want us hanging around right now? Is there something you don't want us to see? And then her fucking mom drives up in like a American like an old school pickup truck, and I'm like, this is gonna be good. I thought she was gonna have a boyfriend. I thought that's where the direction was gonna go, or that she has like someone that she's crushing on. Eniwa has someone. She has someone she is crushing on. She. I shouldn't be mean. People do probably have the name she, and for an Anglo, someone who speaks English, that's disorienting, but that doesn't make your name invalid. Point is, yeah, their dynamics are fun.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Apologies, Chad, if this episode's a little incoherent. We're kind of all running on fumes right now.
What do you mean? I've been fine. It's just okay. If it seemed like I was low energy earlier, it's just legitimately I didn't have much else to say about Vivy. Vivy was a very much a slower paced episode this week, and I'm usually the one that just sits back and listens to you two geek out about Super Cub.
Super Cub! My voice cracked!
That is a trifecta for Super Cub, and I believe... Do we need to take a break here, or are we good?
We're good to go. I have... Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to keep going.
Okay. And let's move on to the show that was actually pretty close to dying last week. I think me and Dal both said, yeah, we should have gave it the knife, but maybe next week will be better. I feel like both me and you were at that point with it, Dal.
Yeah, the show Tokyo Revengers, everyone. Show has built up good faith with us, but like Meep said multiple times, let's see how it did this week.
Yeah. Tokyo Revengers, episode 8. Takamichi gets poop in his hair, so Draken and Mikey stop fighting. Then Takamichi and Hina go to a festival and be cute together, but some folks still want to stab Draken, so Takamichi goes to interfere, but gets beat up. Then Hina saves him, and we see Pe confront Draken.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who want to stab Draken.
Yeah,
not just
including his own girlfriend.
I don't think she wants to peg Draken. I'm pretty sure she just wants Draken to wreck her in every way. Anyway, middle schoolers, right?
She's sitting there, waterfall agape, just trying so desperately to get him to pin her against a tree, and he just will not notice. He is the true anime protagonist. There is a woman ovulating next to him, and he doesn't notice. That is peak anime protag right there.
So, middle schoolers, am I right?
They listen. I want to believe this is a anime set in high school because none of this, like, I don't understand why it's middle school. Out of all things, it feels like this would be a lot more believable if it was high school.
We talk about this every week. It's that, and I think that's great.
I think it fits perfect with middle school. Fucking peak hormones.
Yeah. To answer the question, Meep, you've been trying to poke at this whole time. I think this is one of the best episodes of the show thus far.
Wait, what? How's it trying to?
Oh,
no, I'm saying like about me poking the product. What?
Because you're like, oh, I wonder how we feel about Tokyo Revengers this week.
No, I said that when I said, Vivy only has 3 episodes left, and you went, and let me trigger Meep here. Good riddance. I'm like, I wonder how you feel about episode 10 of Vivy then.
Yeah, no. I think this is at least compared to last episode, this is much better. But I think like I've enjoyed this episode a lot. The whole let's get down to business.
It's the best episode of the show. Because it cuts out except for the first scene, it cuts out with the jokes and is really genuine and puts to bed that stupid fucking joke of, oh, Takamichi, you cheater, slap. Like, they have a couple references of going like, oh, I'll forgive you if you buy this for me, and then when they're at the tree, she's like, I forgive you. And like, Takamichi and Hino were just really cute this episode, and I enjoyed it. And like, when the show is really genuine, oh, sorry.
No, their relationship's really good. I agree. Go on.
When the show is genuine, it's at its best. That's what I mean when I say I kind of want the show to ease up on the comedy a bit, because when it's genuine, it's at its best for me. Also, something I actually only found out today. The reason they keep censoring the symbol of the Tokyo Manji Gang is because it's a so fun little history lesson for all of you. The symbol used by the Germans, known as a swastika, was adapted from a symbol of the Buddhist religion, and in Tokyo Revengers, the Tokyo Manji Gang symbol is that symbol from the Buddhist religion. So they have a censored and uncensored version, because people in the West that don't know about that will go, wait, why are our main characters Nazis?
Yeah, the symbol that is associated with the swastika, or the swastika, that is the swastika, but the symbol that is originally referenced by the swastika, with the swastika usually being the inverted form of it, is an old symbol used in a lot of Asian cultures as a symbol for power. However, thanks to the I was going to say chicanery, but that's an insult, due to the detestable and deplorable behavior of the Nazi Party, which is a scourge on the human history. That symbol is obviously seen as a sign of hate and prejudice throughout the world. However, it is not uncommon for that symbol to still be used, especially for alt culture and punk culture within Asia.
Yeah, it's like I understand why they made the choice to censor it, because for the longest time I've been seeing that there's a censored version. I actually didn't notice what was being censored until one of our friends, one of me and Makan's friends told me is that, oh, the symbol of the Tokyo Manji gang is a swastika. It's like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about the beginning of the episode, right? So, Makan, last week, I feel like you were the one who had the most writing on this. So, what do you think of the payoff?
Well, I can't say I was fully satisfied, but at least it was something. He got properly angry. He fucking screamed at them, and they didn't take him seriously. And then he fucking swang at Mikey. He didn't hit, and that makes sense. Fucking hell, that was good. Even though I would have enjoyed him to actually land a blow or something, it was fucking crazy good.
I mean, to be fair, the breakdown he had at the like derelict temple explains it really well, because like he's weak, like he can get tough, but he's weak. He cannot take Mikey in a fight.
Yeah, I enjoyed that scene until the poop joke, because like they had that really actually genuine moment of him going, "Why are you two fighting? You're so cool. I can't bear to see Tama get ripped apart." The monkey's like, "Takamichi, you have a turd in your hair," and it's like, "Show, please stop undercutting your genuine and sweet moments with jokes."
I will get back in a second, but I think Makan had more to say.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can keep going. I mean, I was kind of on my point there. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll come back to it. Meep can keep speaking.
Okay, Meep, go on.
Okay, I was just gonna. Yeah, no, I just like the more they undercut serious scenes with jokes, it's just making me wait for a punchline in serious scenes. Like, if it wasn't for the one scene just being really like genuine and sweet with Hina with Hina and Takamichi, I would have been waiting for punchlines in both those scenes. It would have affected my enjoyment. But yeah, I'm happy that it started easing up on the comedy a little bit, even though I didn't enjoy the turd joke.
And this time, I'll say it with less sarcasm. They're middle schoolers. The way Mikey and especially fucking Draken run away and duck behind the corner, Draken turns around one last time to laugh at Takamichi before ducking out around the corner. That was fucking great. I laughed my ass off because it was just like, look at these fucking dumbass kids. Because with how serious and over the top, ridiculously violent and like organized this show is, and sometimes sexual, and I do mean sometimes, you forget their age group, and yeah, just these fucking degenerates going, yeah, poop in your hair, and like running around going, yeah, and like it's, yeah, no, accurate.
I really don't like it when those really serious parts are undercut by jokes, because
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Like I feel like I'm not given enough to let that sink in and go, man, that was a tense and, really emotional scene. But when it starts like, oh, there's a punchline, it kind of takes that momentum away from me of going, wow, what a emotional scene.
I can't disagree with you, but it's just in this one, I recovered, like I rebounded from that cut with just being like, look at these kids. Look at these fucking kids. Who gave these kids the right to murder each other?
Yeah, and I don't know, it feels like these two elements are just so opposing, and the comedy can genuinely just bring me out of the show at times, and I don't like how it does that, but it wasn't as present here, and as it stands now, next episode looks like it's going to be a very dramatic episode, which has me excited. It the show brought me back in. I will say it. This episode brought me back in. I should have gave the last episode a knife, but I'm happy I didn't.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. In terms of like the comedy and this balance of it, like I can kind of understand where you're coming from with that in the sense of like, yeah, it's definitely put in at wrong times and multiple times in the show for our tastes, and yeah, it kind of does. I can't bring myself to fully like unanimously agree with you, but I what I can say is that I agree with you. I understand how like, especially in a scene like that where you want it to have that dramatic moment, to have that emotional payoff, and then they pull it out from under you to be like, haha, like you don't get to have the emotional moment. It is intentional. It feels intentional at least.
I just
Um,
I don't know. Oh, sorry.
Also, like, something about the jokes, at least in this episode, most of the time they just don't land for me. But like, apart from the like him getting shit in his hair, just the jokes of everyone just like avoiding him, fucking acting like kids. Like, you still fucking smell. I fucking showered, asshole.
Yeah,
It's such peak middle school bullshit, and I love it.
And then his
Yeah,
friends trying to sneak away afterwards instead of helping him clean up, and then
yeah, like that part I enjoyed. I hope they stay away from undercutting serious moments now, because it seems like we're getting into the really, really dramatic shit. Like we're getting to some of the climax stuff, and I did do my research. This is going to be a 24 episode core, so if this show survives, it survives to next season. So we have at least one show to look forward to for summer.
yeah, no, it's yeah. Speaking of the dramatic, I think we're finally getting, what episode are we up to in Tokyo Revengers? Like episode 8? Episode 7?
8. Yeah, we're episode 8 and everything except Vivy.
Yeah, episode 8 is, we're finally getting to Takamichi's character development, because we've seen him shirk around, and like, you know, in the beginning I'm like, stay with Draken, Takamichi, stay with Draken. No, don't get distracted by the girlfriend. Stay with Draken to save the girlfriend, you motherfucker. And then at the end, like, he really, you know, I think he's finally catching himself on like, I need to get stronger, not just physically but mentally. Like, yeah, I'm able to go through time. Yeah, I'm able to like change little things, and I'm glad I was able to help Draken and Mikey, but at the end it's all about to be nothing, because when my fucking bully and like my oppressor like came back, I like, oh, like my knee started shaking and I bowed down to him, like, and I started apologizing again, like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I haven't been doing anything. And I'm like, yes, finally. Are we getting actualization by our main character? Are we going to have Mikey start talking the talk and walking the walk?
I sure fucking hope so. I hope he goes there and he gets in the fight, fucking beats him up. I mean, we talked about it quite early in the show. The opening kind of spoils that he gets stabbed in the hand. I hope he fucking takes that like a champ and smacks that dude in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, with the blade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And also an interesting turn of events that I didn't foresee coming. It's not only the fucking Fight Club degenerate that's after Draken. It's also Pe, or whatever, the Pa and Pa. Sorry, their names are similar. I forget them, but Pa's underling that is going to fight him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the one who's going to stab Draken. I think this is going to lead into Draken and him fight. Then Kiyomasa is going to try and stab Draken. I mean, that's my assumption, but yeah.
Also, they said there was a Mobius boy, yet they conveniently never showed us his face. So, are we going to assume that that is the douchebag, the evil McGee?
Possibly? Because the whole thing is like he's trying to stop Mikey from meeting with this Kisaki guy. So
Is that yeah, that guy, yeah. No, Tenta.
Yeah,
Tenta, or his name Tenta or whatever.
which I'm not gonna lie, I hope he's really cool because a bit of a dry season for antagonists.
Guy looks like an evil piece of shit. Probably is a Petchin. Yeah, Petchin. Thank you, Death Reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. This has been the best episode of this show so far. Like
It's really good.
like
and the scenes. Go on.
I was gonna say I really enjoyed the kiss they shared.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing my best to ignore that he's a grown man in this child's body. I'm doing my best to ignore that.
Is that guy? That guy never grew out of his middle school like headspace. He's been a middle schooler his whole life, and like now he's finally going to get over his. Hopefully, he's going to get over his trauma. I will say this: if this show fails to deliver on the whole trauma aspect, and like I'm going to get over my traumas, I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to get stronger mentally and physically, and I'm going to save the world, or at least save, my friends. He is a human character. I will give Takemichi this. He is pleasantly human in the sense of like he is having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that he is a time traveler and he has to save not only Hina but a bunch of his friends. I want to see the progress. If the show again pulls the rug from underneath us with him and kind of pushes his character development until later to the show, like we know he joins Toman like full on. He gets the jacket. He becomes a captain. It's 8 episodes in show. It's time for you to give it to us. If you keep pulling this from under our feet, I'm going to lose interest because while I genuinely enjoy Draken and I enjoy and Mikey and I enjoy the middle school humor, if for the sake of it being middle school humor, you gotta start delivering more like this episode because you've kind of burned a candle on both. It's not that dramatic. I think I'm being too harsh right now. Point is, don't fall back on this, guys. Let this follow through. Give us what we want.
A bit of meta knowledge here. Like this isn't spoilers, it's just meta knowledge. The manga is finished with I think 200 chapters. So yeah,
you can do 200 chapters in 24 episodes.
I mean, you can, but you'd be missing a lot.
Well, we can now forever say if Horimiya can do it, so can you.
Well, Horimiya was a very more episodic structure, whereas this is linear.
That's true. Yeah, it's narrative and story based. We'll see. Mackin, my sweet, tired, unwell boy.
Hello, it is me. I am fine.
I kind of wanted you to stick to that voice for the rest of whatever you were gonna say.
Well, I guess I will then.
No, I won't. But I don't have much to say. I don't know if I missed or anything, but did you guys bring up anything about how it's kind of strange it kind of felt weird for Takemichi to go with Hina on a date?
No,
not really.
Yeah, no, I was fine with that. I think the date's cute, but I was kind of just sitting there like, I'm kind of uncomfortable.
Why?
I don't know. It's something about him being an adult in the child's body. I don't know.
Yeah,
like I said earlier. Yeah, like I said earlier, it really feels like he hasn't grown out of his middle school headspace, even as like a late 20-year-old.
He definitely hasn't.
Yeah.
Like the fucking trauma he went through stopped his progression completely. But I don't know. It was something that rubbed me the wrong way, but not enough for me to think it was completely awful.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned I'm doing my best to try, like during the kiss scene. Like I wasn't bothered until the kiss scene, like, and I wasn't even really bothered there. I was just doing my best to try and forget that he's a grown man in this child's body.
Teenager, but okay.
In age, but still, it doesn't roll back his age anymore.
Like I was the first. I mean, I don't know if I was the first one, but I talked about it when the show just began. And like, yeah, this is a strange premise in terms of its like age setup and stuff like that. Both it being set in high school and with a young adult being put into back into a teenager's body. But I'm also realizing how many times Disney Channel's live action movies did this premise. 40 going on to 14 or 16 or whatever the fuck that movie was. Anyway, and no one batted an eyelash at that. But also again, like at the same time, it's like it's still you. It's just you back in time. So it's not like you're possessing a body of a teenager or a child. Like, yeah, I mean, a child is really weird. No, please don't sexualize children. Seek help. Yeah, like it's not like I am going to possess this teenage stranger's body and then go hit on high school or middle school girls. It's him going back into his body, back in his time, back in his life, and I think that this is a weird thing to discuss, guys.
It really is. So let's choose to not think about it.
Yeah, like the rest of the world just choose to ignore it and the world keeps turning. No, we're not ready to cards. We need to talk about the best part of the episode, the fucking date. And it was cute because Hina is fucking still upset. Like she's genuinely trying to have a good time with her boyfriend and she likes Takamichi and she doesn't think he's gonna go out with her because he's been like ignoring her, but he's like, of course I'd love to go out. And Hina and Emma become friends and they have like girl talk and it's really cute. And then they fucking hang out together, and then they go on, and then Takamichi and Hina go on a date, and she just says like, I still haven't forgiven you. Like you're still not out of like, you're not out of the doghouse. Like I'm still mad about that. Like you fucked up. And she's like, and he's like, I'm sorry. And like she can see that he cares about her and that he's sorry, and then there's something going on with him, and she's like, all right, if you hit the special prize, I'll forgive you. And then like she pulls moves on him. She's like, you were really cute. How hard you were trying to get the prize. I forgive you. And it was like tender and intimate and cute. And Hina was like taking initiative. And I'm like, go Hina, pursue your dreams. Get your man.
Is Hina a time traveler too?
No.
When she died, did she go back in time?
The show better not pull this shit. Oh, Takamichi, it's been me the whole time.
Like but I also liked Draken and Emma's date because you can just tell how much she really cares about him, and it's so sweet. And I just love Emma going, no, come on, let's do that. No, you'll get fat. What the fuck did you say to me?
I love how blunt he fucking is.
Yeah, fucking Draken's not exactly the most romantic fellow.
Oh, you can say that again.
Say that a third time.
Oh my god. But yeah, the date was cute. I guess at this point. Oh yes, I felt like I was forgetting something. And another laugh I got out of this episode was when fucking he's about to kiss her, and of course his phone goes off. And like it's not like they even played. Like funnily enough, they didn't really play that immediately to humor. They're about to kiss. His phone is ringing. He's moving in close. Her eyes open halfway because she herself is, in the mood. And why'd you have to make a middle schoolers, guys? And then she's like, Takamichi, your phone. And he's like, fine. Yeah, okay, hold on one second. Opens it. And it's just like, oh, Takamichi, rain sucks, doesn't it? He's like, listen here, you little fucking piece of shit. If you ever call me with this dumb bullshit, I'll fucking kill you.
I'll fucking kill you, little shit. How dare you do this to me?
You are jumping a milestone in my life.
That joke did do it for me. I did laugh at that one.
It was fucking fantastic. Like, yeah, sure, anime thing of interrupting at the moment, but fuck, was it funny?
It was well executed. It's not a groundbreaking joke, but damn it all if they didn't do it well. Yeah, that's you.
It was funny, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope next episode. I hope Draken and his girlfriend are okay, because if she gets hurt, I am going to be big sad, because I actually, this episode made me like her a lot more.
Yeah. They showed her as more of a character instead of just a sexualized female token. But shall we hold up cards? Meep, you sound if so, Meep, yeah. I nominate you since you're kind of flowing into that right now.
Sure thing. I'm gonna fuck this show. Last episode was the worst episode it had, and this episode was the best episode the show has had. It was extremely jarring for me to go from like something so bad to something so good. And it was like, oh wow, like maybe that's why I'm thinking this episode is the best, just because we went from the worst episode. But I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the sweet, genuine moments in it. It only undercut things with comedy once, and while that is faint praise, it's still better than what the show has been doing, and it seems like we're getting into some more drama. So I'm very excited to continue it. I'm going to give the show the fuck.
Okay, you want to go next or should I?
I can go next. While I was expecting something more of an action scene, it feels like we haven't gotten much action in this shonen anime so far. But maybe that's not the point, that there should be high octane action and big battles. Kind of feels like it isn't. But I do hope we get a good battle next episode. It's not a complete make or break it like it was last time, but I was satisfied with what we got, how he is finally making up his mind, and now he's actively saying that he is going to get over this shit that's fucking with his head from his childhood. And I hope they make good on that promise. I'm gonna fuck the show.
Yeah, right. And surprising no one, I'm sure I'm also going to fuck this episode. This was a good episode. It is, if not the best episode, it is certainly relatively the best episode compared to last week. The show kind of hit each point. It hit each point in it hit each point of the show in a very good way. We have the gang drama. We have Mikey and Draken, who are these kind of like forward-thinking delinquents, when in reality they're just old-school delinquents. They're kind of treating it with that Yakuza vibe, where it's just like, nah, we take care of our shit, we take care of our own, and then we clean up our mess. Fuck the people, fuck the system, don't get in our way, and there won't be a problem. Like, we'll make sure there won't be a problem. So I kind of like that. They finally talked about why they fought, because Mikey said, like, nah, we gotta go fuck up the police and stay and fight and save Pa, and Draken's just like, nah, let Pa be a man. He chose his shit. He shot in his grave. Now he needs to lie in it, and when he comes out, we'll be there to pick him back up. So that was cool. We have the middle school delinquent bullshit of them actually being kids, reminding us that, like, damn, son, these are kids. I mean, they're not children, but they're teenagers. They're young teenagers, and they're still kids. And then we get the romance and the time travel, and like, it's setting up the character development of our main character. And on top of all that, I was ready for, like, we had like 3 points of cliffhanging in the end of this episode. One was when they walk away and Takamichi's tied up. The other one was when, like, Takamichi and Hina kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna go take care of this shit. Sorry, Hina, I gotta go. I got things to take care of. And I'm like, all right, let's go, action movie superstar. And then the other one was when second commander or third, either the second lieutenant or third lieutenant, the guy with white hair, rolled up on his bike, and he's like, yo, we gotta go save Draken. He's like, yo, what are you doing here, Takamichi? Where's Draken? He's like, I don't know, I gotta go save him. Oh, you know about that too? Yeah, he's like, the Fight Club guy's gonna kill him. What? No, Pez gonna kill him, and like the plot thicken. I'm like, don't give me a cliffhanger here. Yeah. And then they ended it on a really good note with Pez actually being like, oi, Draken.
Did he pull a fucking knife on him or not?
I don't think yet. I think he just is wearing that like fucking harness that's like, he's gonna like pull out a flag with Pa on it. He's gonna put it in his back like a samurai, and he's gonna duke it out with Draken.
Well, like I said, I think Pe is just gonna fight Draken. I don't think he's gonna stab him. I think what's gonna happen is he's going to fight Draken, because we know Draken can take Kiyomasa and Pe, but I think the whole thing is gonna be Pe fighting Draken. Draken is tuckered out from that, and then that's gonna be no, Kiyomasa can now fight Draken because Draken's tuckered out.
Or Kiyomasa takes Emma hostage because we know he's a piece of shit and is not above doing that.
Damn, can't believe Kiryu Kazuma is gonna have to beat him to shit. Yeah. So that is a. Wait, Makan, did you give your vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. That is a trifecta for Tokyo Revengers. Let's move on to Shadow's House, Episode 8. Lou and Patrick find Louise, but Patrick gets fed up with them. Rum and Emiliko make it through the maze, but Rum breaks down and expresses her emotions and feelings about her master to Emiliko. Emiliko makes it to Kate while we see Edward turn into a Shadow Master. What the fuck is with Edward? Yeah. We got a new ending, by the way.
We did get a new ending. Do we want to talk about Edward first, or do we want to save that for later?
Let's talk about Edward first. Who the fuck is this extravagant
motherfucker?
Bombastic fucking shadow doll thing? What the fuck?
I think it's more foreshadowing what the kind of finalization of where the shadows and the faces kind of coalesce.
Yep.
Because if you've looked at the other shadows we've seen there higher up, they don't have faces.
Yep. But we also realized that the two that were attending to Grandfather and the other 4 high nobles of the house, which I assume is who they are, fucking like the dude moving the map and the girl kind of like watching everyone and sent the raven. I'm pretty sure that was Jer and Elena was her name. I don't remember the 2 new names. They introduced them very late in the episode.
Yeah, and it just that had me really intrigued, and we got a new ending. I don't think it's going to be for the whole season. I think it's just for this episode for Edward. I actually like what they've been doing with Edward. I like how he plays the piano to calm himself, and I did enjoy how a couple episodes ago they mistook that as him wanting them to dance, and it got him upset. And then, I love this overdramatic wannabe Adam motherfucker.
And then when his like own anxiety, like his own stressors peaked, he transformed back into a shadow form, revealing that shadows and faces can bond together. However, they apparently have different personalities nonetheless, because when his shadow form starts playing and you see his soot kind of like being this like musical note swirling around him, which is visually fucking cool. Like what are all the other powers like now? Like man, like the world just expanded so much. And then he says like whatever, Edward has a plan for this and Edward will take care of it, meaning that they're not one and the same. Like, but like, goddamn, what a reveal! What does this mean? Like, do the shadows fuse with their face at a certain point of like attaining power or to gain power? Like, goddamn, the door of possibilities has been thrown wide open as the doors to the labyrinth, to the maze. Which the girls immediately, after waiting 3 seconds, like, nope, fuck that.
I fucking love that scene. It was great. Just like, nope.
We throw the doors open. Torches everywhere.
Open the gate! Score Silver, close the gate!
I can't wait until Emiliko and Kate do the fusion dance to beat up Grandpa.
So I have a question for you guys. 2 questions, actually.
Is it about Lou and Louise?
No. No. 1. Show of hands if Rum is becoming your best supporting character, or at least runner-up for anyone else, because goddamn.
God, I love her. She's so fucking cute.
Honestly, if we're talking runner-up, I think I might put Hina above Rum, but Rum is very good.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Meep. I watched Shadow House, then Tokyo Revengers, and I'm like, wow, Rum is slowly but surely becoming my favorite side character, supporting character this season. And then I watched Tokyo Revengers, and there was that scene with Hina, like, supporting Takamichi and kind of putting him back on his feet. And I'm like, damn it. Sorry, Rum. Hina's winning.
Also, actually, I might also place Reiko above Rum, too, now I'm thinking about it. Reiko is also very good.
Yeah, how could I think about doing Reiko dirty like that?
I mean, my number 1 should be obvious to everyone here.
We'll see. We'll see when the awards come around. However, my second question: are they going to kill Rum?
They might. The show might actually do that.
They're going to kill Rum, aren't they?
I don't know, but Patrick is going to kill Lou and Louise.
I wanted him to push that utter bitch into the fucking. I don't think this is actually Twitch illegal. I wanted Patrick to push that cunt into the fucking hole.
Listen,
Back you go. You go.
I like Lou and Louise because, okay, there's definitely something more going on, at least on Lou's end. Because for Louise, sure, I could totally buy that it's just she's incredibly in love with herself. But for Lou, I think there's something more going on there than just admiration for her Shadow Master.
I don't know. I think Lou just is a bit. I think she just drank the Kool-Aid or Powerade in this case, and Flavorade, and is just fully on board on being the Shadow's, first and foremost face.
Well, I think she's flourishing in this environment, and she is getting clearly something out of this. Obviously, we've all heard them say, like, we care for our Shadow Masters. We are only supposed to fret about our Shadow Masters. But Lou has been the first to say that she loves her Shadow Master, and it felt like there was more to it than just, I have to say this out of obligation. No, it felt like she has genuine feelings for her because she's flourishing in this environment where she's being pampered. She's being treated in such a favorable way. She's being doted on. She's definitely
to be
flourishing.
Clear, are you saying like romantic feelings, or just like there's like a bond between them?
I think that I think both. I think there's essences of both there, but with the way she has been acting and talking, like, it definitely feels like she has more feelings that she might not even understand for her Shadow Master.
I cannot agree with you there. Like you said, what I can't agree with is that, like you said, Lou has a pretty sweet deal. She is doted upon, treated extremely well, pampered as an extension of Louise's self. She performs as well as Mia, but outside of her face duties and her responsibilities and duties to her Shadow Master, she doesn't really give a shit about all else. Throughout the whole labyrinth, we saw her prioritize passing the debut for Louise and getting to her to the point where she understands her role so well that she can manipulate her shadow. Like we saw that with the soot, where she's like, "We're leaving," and Patrick's like, Ricky's like, "What do you mean? Your Shadow Master's here and you're gonna ban her?" And like Lou's like, "Shh, shut the fuck up, dumbass. Like, if I say this, I'm gonna see her. Like, I know my shadow. She's gonna freak out, and I'm gonna find out exactly where she is, and we're gonna save all this time."
Because she has a genuine connection and bond with her master. I don't think for a second it's purely business. I think she does care extremely much for her Shadow Master. Like, the way they talk in that scene is, my voice brings her comfort, and she brings me comfort. The way she was talking throughout that whole scene,
she brings her comfort, but okay.
She said we bring each other comfort.
No, she said my voice brings her comfort.
Yeah, once again, you're misremembering and misquoting the show.
Okay.
Not careful. I just tell you to be careful, my dude.
Like, okay. Well, I was misremembering, but
if I can say this, Makan, we think you're reaching.
If you're not reaching, it's whatever site you watched on subbed it wrong, because that's not the sub.
Watch it in Funimation.
The way she talks, and even when she brings them out, like, they drop everything and they're incredibly intimate together. I think there's more to it than just business. I don't think for a second it's, well, no, she's my master, that's all there is to it. Like,
Judging for the way we're talking about the show, we will see, but she dropped everything to perform her role as her face, and Lou has always been very doty and tactile with her. I have zero thoughts of any form of like sexual or romantic intimacy between the two of them because shadows don't see their dolls as people, and many of these dolls are children.
Well, no, there was definitely, like, it wasn't just like she was completely emotionless and dead during that pampering scene before the debut. Like, she was definitely enjoying and flourishing in the environment with Louise.
No, she was being
Yes?
She was being Louise's face and showing the expression on Louise's face while doting on her face.
Like, I don't know what else to say. This is the read and the feeling
What
I'm
you're
getting
reading
from
is
it. Like,
Louise's what you're reading is Louise's desire to fuck herself.
what I'm reading is a romantic and intimate connection they have. I'm not saying Lou wants to fuck Louise. I never fucking said that.
No, I said what you're reading is Louise wanting to fuck herself. How much Louise loves herself and the idea of her and how fucking amazing and perfect she is and ho ho ho.
And when you have someone constantly saying how beautiful you are, how pretty you are, how perfect you are, that you look up to and respect and is very influential towards you, it's not uncommon to have feelings develop there in a power dynamic relationship.
I can't agree with you there, but hey, I guess we'll just have to wait and watch and see.
Like,
what about you, Makan? Where do you sit on all this?
I'm sorry, I spaced out for like the last 2 seconds there. What was the question? Sorry.
Does Louise want to fuck Lou, or does Louise want to fuck herself?
Oh no, like I said, she's just completely like, yeah, no, she fucking loves me. I bring her comfort. Yeah, no, like I'm using that for my advantage. I think she's happy with how much she's doting on her, but no, I don't think that's anything sexual. At least not from Lou's part.
I never said sexual. I said romantic. Don't put words in my mouth, please.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I kind of spaced out and I thought that was where it was going. All right. Well, romantic can lead to sexual.
You two are making it sound like I want to see these two children characters fuck, and that's not the case.
Either fucking or them getting in a relationship, it's not really any different for the conversation.
Yeah, it's still a
them
level
having
of like
romantic feelings for each other is different from me going, yeah, I want to see these two kids fuck.
Point is, shipping Louise and Lou in any extent. Go on, Makan, you were saying?
Kind of lost my train of thought there, but no, like, I don't think there's anything more than that, just that Louise is completely enamored with Lou, and Lou is just kind of enjoying the tension. I think there's nothing more than that, really.
Yeah, I think Lou is just flourishing in her lifestyle with not only being able to perform her duties and getting praised and actively seeing her succeed, even after whatchamacallit, after, sorry, getting distracted by the raid. Thank you, guys. I'll jump in the chat as soon as I finish this thought. Flourishing and succeed past Patrick and Ricky, who, you love to see them fail. She has a very good position. Louise is of the snobby noble mentality that seems to be very fit in the Shadows house culture, and she's just living her best life. I'm going to be very curious to see them hit a wall and how both of them react, and if Lou will break away from as Louise's face to stand up for the people who are really nice to her, namely Emilico. And like, since Meep is going on about his ship, I'll go about mine. I ship Emilico and Rum, not actively in the show because they're small bean babbies, but like I really love their fucking dynamic, and both of them are kind of bringing out each other's strengths. Where like Emilico she's not the sharpest. She's not the bright. Oh, she's not the. Well, she's definitely the brightest light bulb in the box, but she's not the sharpest. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed. But like, God damn it all. We're talking about Shadow's house, everyone. By the way, welcome. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but you know the world. Somebody once told her the world was gonna roll her. She's kind of like figuring shit out. She made like a broom out of her like push cart. Like she's resourceful as fuck. She knows how to read. Rum is like brilliant, right? Like she is like she can figure out mathematics. She was immediately guiding them through the maze, but upon hitting a wall, her self-confidence and esteem immediately dropped down. And then we see them fucking team up, and like Rum gets assertive and they push through the card with superhuman strength I did not know they had. How the fuck did they send that heavy ass card uphill flying like that? And then face plant close the fucking cellar door so that the Scorches can get out. They had this adorable high five, and then Rum had a breakdown, and it was really sad.
Yeah, as far as they push the card out, I'm just gonna guess adrenaline on that one.
Okay, fair enough.
And I mean, they did push it up a steep hill before. Just that hill was a lot longer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it was a very cute sequence. I enjoyed it. We got a lot of development from Rum and from Emiliko through it.
I really like their dynamic. Like, I might be getting jaded by anime, but I'm really scared they're gonna kill Rum. Holy shit, I'm scared they're gonna kill Rum.
No, this isn't Vivy. They're not going to kill their side characters left and right.
I don't know. This is the same studio that did was it Promised Neverland?
This is also the same studio that did Horimiya, and no one dies in that show.
Except for Yuki's inner feelings. Anyway, Sakura's inner feelings.
Did any of the characters in Wonder Egg die?
We'll find out in the finale. That's still a month away.
We'll be in summer by the time we get to that finale.
No. Cloverworks overworked their studio. A lot of people got hospitalized, and they had to put it on break. So instead, they, which shame on you, Cloverworks, which means that they're doing like a season finale special in June 30th to kind of wrap up the show.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, from what I understand, the quote-unquote ending of the show was really convoluted and confusing, so they decided that, well, we couldn't fit all we wanted to in that one last episode, so let's just do a special to sort of answer everyone's questions.
Have you seen the last episode?
I'm going off of what you and other people have told me about the last episode.
I told you that the last episode isn't ended. It ended on a cliffhanger. Like, there's nothing convoluted about it, because it wasn't of an ending, because there was none. It's just like, hello, antagonist, like third general who's fucking crazy, and I is backed into a corner right now, and that's where it ended. And we're like, where's it gonna go? Give us the end. Cloverworks. Well, no, give us the end responsibly, Cloverworks, and give us the end, Wonder Egg. You are too good to just end on a non-ending. But we're talking about we're talking about, oh, by the way, for those of you hearing how excited I am about, and ignore the baby talk, please, that just came out of me. I'm very tired. For those of you hear me ranting about Wonder Egg Priority, huge content and trigger warning, explores extremely sensitive subjects, like intimate and sensitive subjects such as suicide and depression and mental trauma. So go into that show not expecting a happy good time, but it is brilliant. Anyway, Shadow's House. I love Ram and Emiliko. They're so good. Sean and John are making their way downtown, running fast, dodging bullshit. And Lou is the only one with the gear to save Shirley, unless Rum figures out that she can use the lantern to burn the ropes off of Shirley's dress. I don't know where they're going to go with it.
Which would light Shirley on fire.
Well, you can put out a thread. Unless, like, they gouged Shirley in fucking gasoline, and
Maybe they
holy
did.
shit.
And I think we did get confirmation here that Shirley, like, it's not like 100% confirmation, but I'm pretty sure Shirley is mute.
Yeah, right. It's the only explanation. That's why she finally took to rum during the fucking. You can't see me, but I'm jigging my hands left and right as if to imitate dancing. The debut.
Listen, your excitement here is the excitement I have for Vivy, so I can't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Rum's Master is just shy or not, but I guess we're gonna see.
Go find out.
Yeah, no, this debut is going a lot slower than I was expecting.
Like I said last episode, I thought this was going to be done in 2-3 episodes, and I feel like this is going to be the rest of the season, especially with that ending change at the end.
I don't think it will, because we still have 5 episodes left. Or at the very least, the Labyrinth won't take up the last 5 episodes. Because if it does, that'd feel very dragged out.
Edward is such a fucking villain.
Maybe I'm used to arcs in anime being smaller now, but I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I did really enjoy what we got out of Edward here too. He's, of the villains we have so far, he is my favorite. Because we've only had like 2, and that's including Tokeboy. Wait. Do we count Elizabeth and Antonio as villains as well?
Antonio, 100%.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And Elizabeth, maybe Beth, but not Elizabeth.
Well, Elizabeth is Beth.
Beth is what we call the mind wash one. It's just kind of the differentiating we make.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I guess they just don't feel as antagonistic as Tokeboy was. I don't know. Just Shadow's House, everyone.
Shadow's House.
Yeah, Edward definitely is my favorite villain so far.
Yeah, he's this dramatic bitch. And he is a bitch, right? He is snarky, he is Machiavellian, he is malevolent.
He even has Adam's eyes, those crazy eyes.
Yeah, he has those dead eyes.
Wannabe Adam scumbag.
I mean, I kind of get it because they're both like over the top, dramatic, fancy divas, but like Edward is far more collected and gentlemanly. He suits the role of butler and noble very well, and his ambition is to become one of the high court, right, to get to the 3rd floor. This show is doing its world building very slowly, but it's somehow pulling it off for me.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying its world building too. Of the shows we have, I do think this has been doing its world building the best. I will say, as much as I do love another show on our list, I do think this show does have some edges over it.
Yeah. I mean, this episode's just... I don't think the recap in the beginning was necessary. Like, I would have rather seen more of the antagonist, the Machiavellian 3. By the way, Jer has Farquaad hair.
Keck. Oh, Shadow's House dub. It's pretty good, actually.
I'll give it a listen sometime.
Yeah, most of the shows we've been watching have been getting their dubs, including Moriarty.
Also, let's see. I'm just going down my notes and calling out things that I enjoyed in this episode. Yeah, I think the full recap in the beginning was unnecessary because we kind of had that same scene happen with Sean's saving out of the tree when he came down from the tree in the previous episode. Again, cut Shirley free, you fucks. You have scissors. Just tell her to stay there and wait for rum. Lou's flat delivery makes that whole scene all the better with her master because she's just like, so I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to do my job about everything. However, and Lou knows her worth, which I probably should have brought up when you were talking about Lumi, but I found it hilarious that Edward just shut Louise the fuck up. They taped her mouth, just like taped her to a wall, and they're like, "I like shut your mouth. You talk too much."
That was good.
Yeah. Jer's Lord Farquaad hair was funny to me, and fucking Edward's Kotayawa no was amazing, and I'm gonna use Kotayawa no for the rest of my life.
I did really like how Kate, when she was in there, she's like, "Oh, soot keeps coming out, and that's making the chains fall. Oh no, oh no, oh no!" And then Emiliko calling out for Kate makes it stop. It's like, "Aw, that's sweet. I like that."
That's very cute.
And
And
moment.
I just want to like bring up on the point about Edward. I do really love his fucking cadence and speech pattern. It's great.
He's a good villain. He's a very good mid boss, right? Like, because he's definitely not the big boss, but he's definitely serving his role as the immediate antagonist very well. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see because they keep telling dolls not to make relationships, but obviously Edward, Jer, and the other girl whose name I failed to write down, Elena or Aline. I think it was Aline. Elena. They have a somewhat relationship. Obviously, their relationship is far more petty and tenuous, but it's really good. Ali, thank you. Ali. It's interesting. It's we're seeing the world grow past the black and white. Shut up. That was my alarm. I'm sorry if that got picked up. Yeah, it's good to see that being done where like no, Emiliko is onto something and they're trying to whatever. The show, especially with this fucking ending of this episode, has thrown the doors wide open. And unlike Emiliko and Rum, it's not screaming, "Close the door! Close the door! Close the door!"
Are we ready for cards, or that's all I had to say? What about you two?
Yeah, no, like the scorches, the cute stuff about Malika calling out to Kate and everything. The fucking mystery of the Edward and the Shadow taking over him and everything. I'm interested who his two friends are. Yeah, no, I think I've covered everything I want to talk about.
Yeah, the scene with Kate was adorable. That she stopped emitting soot the moment she heard Emiliko call out to her. It's just Shadow House. God damn it! We're holding up cards, so I'm gonna go first. Fuck, like resounding fuck. This show again, like I was considering locking this show, but then when I didn't get like the immediate dark, oppressive, like gothic horror kind of like, or like just like darkness that I kind of went into the show wanting, I kind of immediately fell off the show, like fell back from the show, and I was like kind of reeling back and was like, maybe this isn't what I wanted. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't, lock it. But this show has progressively just gets me more and more interested, from its themes to its like motifs to its setting to the music to how the whole fucking thing still plays like a mystery game, and like just the characters continuing like to gain agency and actualization in a steady pace as the world continues opening up around them is a hard balance to strike, and Shadow House is doing it. So I'm fucking this episode.
I too shall give the fuck to this episode because it's been very good. It's been a very good and at times dark and at times heartwarming show. And well, I do think horror anime should be a more common genre. This isn't it. And while I was wanting horror out of it, you know what? I'm fine with what we did get. I'm okay, and I'm enjoying it. I hope we get some more dark stuff with the revelation of Edward, and yeah, I'm excited for next week.
I'm fucking the show. This show went from something that I was just kind of on the edge of, like, it was a short to watch during like the middle of it a bit, and then it just ramped up and became one of the best shows we have here. I am so excited to see the next episode.
Thanks.
Alrighty, that is a trifecta for Shadow's House. And are you two up for a quick graveyard tour? Because I know, Dal, you've been watching Pretty Boy Detective Club.
I didn't watch the first episode. We can't do it, but unfortunately, Chad, we will have to keep this brief as, due to my relocation, time is of the essence.
Yeah, we've kind of gone over my time, so I would prefer wrapping up right now, actually.
We can always talk about it next week.
Yeah, I think that would be for the best if we manage to get this show started earlier.
Okay, then may I just mention one thing that I didn't mention earlier about one of our shows?
Oh, about the Vivy thing? Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, I mentioned that at the time. I actually, although it is about Vivy, it's dub. Obviously, since I started with the sub, I do still prefer the voice actress for Vivy. Although voice actor for Matsumoto in the dub, a lot of the charm is lost. They did slow his voice down, but ironically, that's what loses a lot of the charm, and a lot of the inflections that Matsumoto has in the sub makes a lot of his charm. And so, have you seen the English dub for One Punch Man?
I haven't really kept up with English dubs.
Okay, well, he's the English voice actor of Saitama, and I don't know, it's just a lot of the charm for Matsumoto isn't there, and maybe that's purely a essence of me being used to the sub, but even then, there are some voice actors I actually prefer more. Navi, I enjoy her English voice actor more. Little Kuribo's wife, by the way. And yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. It's, well, not... I'm sad that Matsumoto's charm is lost, but it's still good. It's serviceable. If you are strictly against watching subs, it's not like it's a terrible dub. It's just, I would recommend watching the sub over the dub. Like with Jujutsu Kaisen.
In times when I have more time when I have more time to work with, I like to poke my head into a dub and just jump around in an episode and hear like 2 or 3 takes of the specific casting. And, you know, it's always fun to see what to do it. I often end up still preferring the Japanese dub. But it'd be what it be.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're going, oh, shit, it shouldn't exist. I'm just saying you're going, I'd recommend the sub over the dub, but that's purely my opinion.
Yeah. No doubt. Alrighty, and with that, I do believe, due to time constraints, guys, we're gonna have to call it a session here. Thank you so much for coming to this episode of FMK Anime for our spring 2021 season. You guys are welcome to drop some questions in chat right now. I can address them afterwards. Or if you guys are listening at home on YouTube, go ahead and hop into the comments. Start the conversation. We're always happy to talk about the things that we discussed in this show and hear what other people agree or disagree with when it comes to our opinions. So, Meep, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter, continuing to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen, Vivy, and a show that I was recently reminded of, Killing Bites. I've been talking about those a lot lately, and I actually want to rewatch Killing Bites at some point. And, you know, I've been very much enjoying this season. And, yeah, you can find me at soul_king7077. Minors, if you follow me, I will break your kneecaps. I am a 18+ account.
Did you put 18+ in your name?
It's in my bio.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Makan, how about you? Where can they find you when you're not exhausted?
Sorry for the low energy this episode, everyone. It's just, I don't know, I guess work took a lot out of me today. You can find me in the wilderness of Sweden strangling a bear, but otherwise I'm also on Twitter at @that_Viking, where I don't do much, but there's something there if you enjoy my brand of comedy that you didn't see much of today, I guess, but I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. But, Makan, quick question. What did the bear do to you?
You don't want to know what the bear did.
I wanna know. Can you show me?
It looked at me wrong.
Oh, well. Man, am I right? Anyway, yeah.
He saw Kuma Bear and he had to get some kind of recompense.
Nah, Coon Bear's good. Anyway, what was I about? Oh yeah, of course, me. Hi, I'm Dalaran Quest. Hello. If you're watching us live, you know this already. If you're not watching us live, you probably know this anyway because you're watching this on my YouTube channel, where I am also known Dalaran Quest. And also, surprise, on Twitter, I am Dalaran Quest. Dalaron Quest. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to. You don't have to, but also give me a follow on Twitch, and you guys will be getting like live updates of when I'm going live, as well as with my current situation. For those of you who are coming to the show late, again, sorry for the off timing and the lower energy and possibly different sounding audio quality. I had to relocate due to a COVID situation in my home, so that's very frustrating and upsetting. But I hope you guys had a good time. Regular streams will be returning hopefully soon. Stay tuned. And we are going to be having, if the Twitch stream can stay stable, we will be having D&D tomorrow at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you guys there.
Small thing I do want to say, by the way. It's nothing concrete yet, so I have to talk with these two about it, but possibly in the next couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, I might try and convince these two to go through all the anime that have been announced for next season to possibly get a good bearing on what's coming out.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, also, soon me and Dell did record our mock winter awards. Should be up sometime soon, and we'll try and get this up live
at the very end of the stream.
Okay, what I said was that me and Dal, we did record our mock winter award stream, and that should be going up sometime this week, I think, right?
Yeah. That's going to be uploaded probably within the next few days. And if you want to catch whatever part of this episode you weren't able to catch live, the VOD will be coming up at the end of the week.
Alrighty. With that, thanks TFS for allowing us to do this experience. It has been a lot of fun. I think we've all been having fun doing these streams.
Indeed. And also a shout out to Sam Random for being our proxy streamer for this. That is, let me just, if anyone can go grab that, I can grab it.
Yes, thank you very much, Sam.
Yeah, Sam, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We had to do a proxy stream today because, well, I am not at home, and I went from 200 MBS internet to 14 MBS internet, so dealing with that. But
now
yeah,
you know how much internet I go off of.
Yeah, I am arguing with Optimum right now, and I also continue to think that the internet speed that you're currently living is not exactly acceptable unless you're in a very tough financial situation. Regardless, give Sam a follow. They're good beans. You can watch them playing retro games and like classic RPGs and old school RPGs, and in her words, ramble a lot. About politics, the world, fantasy, history, and just literature in general. Good people. But with that being done, ladies and gentlemen, or in the words of English Dubs Adams, what's up, you bros and hoes and non-binary? Wait, no, I messed it up.
Bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.